Hello and welcome into SorareAndrews, brought to you by Sorare. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined once again by Andy Black, goes by Black on Sorare. Today, I think we were going to talk about if Sorare were starting today. Andy, everyone's talking about Rivals. What do you think?
Is there anything new in Rivals that wasn't in the beta?
Yeah, Alpha or whatever is after that. I don't. Yes,
A John
yes.
Miller commercial.
Yeah, the John. Well, of course.
I thought that was quite good.
With that Spanish lad with him.
Yeah, it's not the PK commercial. It's the John Nellis commercial.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Is that who that is? PK? He was in a Nellis video before.
He was not the co-star. The supporting actor? Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever Andy Richter is for back in the day. Wow, that dated me. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Like a sidekick.
Yeah. Sidekick. There you go. Yeah. Nellis's sidekick. I'm not going to ask that next question. Anyway, so Alex Wilson, Andy, congratulations on starting your new Midland collection. Welcome.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, maybe I'll drift into this league that, I may have once called the T word. I don't know.
Did you? Wow.
I might have.
Yeah. We know it was just in jest. Don't worry.
I was just kidding.
The T word. So, Andy, the big difference with Rivals, CEO says it here, you can get card rewards and jerseys. I think everyone gets one.
I wonder how. Wonder how they're going to do that.
But yeah, by winning.
Well, I mean, it'll have to. I wonder if every time you level up, because I think every time you get to the next 100, you get a new rank. I wonder if you get a loot box or something when you rank up or something.
I think it's safe to say we have absolutely no idea. And
well, Carol and Skazmo both said they're for streaks. So
do we know how long? Yeah.
Quad.
Are these Jimmer type streaks or are these winning streaks here? Do we know how long the streaks are?
I don't know.
So the single most shocking thing to me about Rivals is that our good friend PSU Fans 2 has purchased limited cards in order to win in Rivals. Andy,
I saw him this morning in Discord. He was giddy like a little boy. Christmas morning, he was like, ooh, and he's downloading the app and he's asking all these questions about how to play. And
do we moon just later today or is it tomorrow? Is that Blue Tomatoes doesn't even believe us?
Yeah, I swear. It's true.
The beauty of the blockchain, guys, even though this has nothing to do with the blockchain, we can see it. They're right there. Taxi and Jens Stryger Larsen, speaking of Sorare Scandinavian Discord.
Wow. Taxi plays for Becca the same team as Becca Sadas plays on?
Travenspor, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, Andy, look at this price chart. That's Taxi. Tell me Rivals isn't working.
I'm not saying anything, but I think we might be out of the dip.
I'm not saying anything, but yeah, no, no,
that's cool. That's good. That's like Skazmo said, he's doing his part. I love it.
So I actually was talking to Skazmo minutes ago, and Skazmo said, I just bought the whole limited stack for this game, this Travenspor game. He bought all old season cards. I don't think that's really doing your part.
I mean, they get 5% of that, right?
Yes, but
it's not
actually,
nothing.
Skazmo, since you're here, if you can answer this question, were those cards available like in the app, or did you go out of the app or out of the Rivals game to buy those cards? Because I was talking to somebody who was like, maybe I don't want to call them out, but they specifically sent me a message that was like, I think I have the stupidest idea ever, but I think I might do it. It was something like that. And again, I don't want to say who it is, but it may be somebody who is on these shows somewhat regularly and has somewhat of a reptilian name on Sorare. But he was like, what if we just buy the limited cards before the arena matches are like open? Because then people are going to want to buy the cards to play. And
Gator always thinking ahead. He's got these great. Oh wait, this reptilian man always has great ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scosmo said I had the both laptop and mobile open anyway, which is true Sorare play right there. So we went on laptop, went to Sorare Data to look at the secondary, and then bought off the secondary. Okay. So that's like kind of doing your part. Oh, he also says I'm on iOS, so I don't have the full marketplace. If iOS had Android features, I would have bought from the secondary market within the app. How about that, Andy? Speaking of which, Android on top now can do everything. I literally heard somebody say, I don't have iOS, so I can't do everything you can do on Android. I literally had never heard of it.
I made the comment, and I don't remember if it was you or HG, but I was like, I use the Sorare app all the time now for like market stuff, and it was HG. He was really mad at me. He was like, I hate you. He's like, cancel your subscription now.
Do you ever go to the app without a notification?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like list cards to relist cards, change the price on a card that I might have listed previously, and I want to lower it or raise it. Or I logged in last night as soon as I saw the Kai Wagner news that he was resigning, and I was like, I could go to Sorare Data and I could check the floor price, or I could just go to Sorare and see if I can buy the card.
Yeah.
And by the time I logged in, people are so so sharp. When I saw the tweet, I saw the first tweet from Paul whatever.
Yeah, Tenorio, something like that.
That guy. And it was like 30 seconds. I saw it like 30 seconds after the tweet. And by the time I got on, all the rares were gone. All the rares that were 0.04, 0.05 were gone. There was one for 0.08 left. And yeah, I mean, look, they even went all the way up to 0.1 something. I should have ended up buying the 0.08 one. Look at that.
Wow.
I don't know. Does the quickness of the app? I don't know. I was hoping that I would be able to get in before people, and I guess not.
That you were what?
I was hoping I'd be able to get on before people and buy that card before other people, and people are just so damn fast.
Yeah, they are.
Gator even bought the Super last night.
Sure did.
And I think he just bought it straight off the market too. Like he didn't negotiate or anything. He just.
So my favorite is that he bought that card last night. Oh, Pavel had it listed. So 3 went yesterday. 0.532, 0.536, and 0.612. So Gator was third.
Okay.
And then apparently one traded 5 hours ago for who knows what. So he messaged me last night and he was like, hey, like I bought this card. He said something like, I need you to tell me why I shouldn't buy this card. And I was like, of course you should buy this card. Right. Nobody comes to me and then is like, please tell me not to buy a card. Like, come on, guys. Who are you talking to? Which is probably why he came to me first.
He messaged me too. He was, I think
he messaged everyone. He basically messaged everyone and was like, if someone tells me not to buy this card, I'll
He's
walk
like,
away.
Please stop me.
Yeah, please stop me. Yeah. And we're like, no. No,
I own a Kai Wagner Super Rare. I need that valuation to go up.
Yeah, you're like, can you play an ETH for that instead of?
Yeah, can you buy 2?
So he buys the card, and he literally sent me a message. Was like, I'm neither regretful nor excited. And then I got another message from him today, and he's like, I'm so fired up for this card. And I'm like, there we go. Let's go.
You know, the one thing I agree with him on totally is he said that he paid cash for it. And he was like, cash isn't even real.
So, he did say that. Cash isn't real.
And I was like, I actually bought a card last week for cash, and I 100% agree with you because we're in the States, we can't cash off. We can't put cash on. So
It's basically Sorare credits.
Basically. So like as far as we're concerned, we have some credits that we use to get something that we wanted.
Yeah. It's like USDC, but it's stuck on the site.
Right.
Man, did I just make a crypto joke?
Mm-hmm.
Did that work? Did that land? All right, let's go.
I like it.
Alex Surfaces says he gets injured a lot, which I don't even know if that's true, but then he has poor communication skills, which that is about the nicest way you can call somebody a racist. So anyway. Vice 91 to donate coming in September.
Is that the joke? That's a great joke.
Surf's on fire today. I was on the Make It a Double podcast yesterday, and we had a whole conversation about surface-to-air missile there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Stay tuned. Going live tomorrow.
Is it positive or negative?
It's always positive. Always positive. So, Andy, I'm going to actually talk about what we were going to talk about, but only for a quick second.
All right.
So somebody, I don't know where this idea came from. I forgot who sent it to us. We didn't come up with this, but I was like, man, that's a great idea. But it was basically like, what would Sorare look like if it started today? And there's a lot of ways to do it. Like if you had all the licenses, how would it look and all this stuff? But the evolution of Rivals into like a full-fledged game, do you think Rivals would be part of a brand new Sorare? Like if Sorare started today, would individual game competitions be something you'd come up with?
Like head-to-head mode, like what Rivals is? I mean, yeah. Why not? By the way, I want to make sure that proper credit is given. It was Mike778. I don't actually know him that well. He just messaged me on Discord and mentioned that that'd be a fun topic. So I'll cap tip to him for this.
Yeah, thank you.
But
Mike.
yeah, no, I think Rivals is I don't think it'd be something that you would focus your energy on build first, but like where we're at now, I think it's a great additional feature to onboard people.
So it's interesting how you called it a head-to-head game, which it obviously is. Mm-hmm. But I was actually more thinking about the fact that it's a single match that you're competing in. Do you think head-to-head game week competitions are a reasonable thing? Like the difficulty that we have in Sorare versus like DFS, because DFS has like they don't do like full week. Well, I guess they do, but generally they'll do like in a Premier League slate, all the games are at 3:00 in the afternoon in the UK on Saturday, or they'll include those games. And so you're up against other people either in a huge tournament or literally head to head. And so it's whatever happens in those 3 to 5 games. But they also have individual game competitions where you can do the same thing. And so the kind of the idea is there to compete over a longer time frame or just one game. I think that the reason why it may not work as well with Sorare is fundamentally with DFS, it's like we're all putting money in and then that money gets distributed to people. And so if you are playing head to head, it's like we both put money in and one of us gets money out. And in Sorare, that's difficult to do now.
Right. I think it's kind of split perfectly, like with the way it is now, where you have kind of your mass lock time pro version, and then you have this head-to-head mode that is probably used more for onboarding and marketing, and maybe eventually the gambling aspect, because you could do head-to-head matches. We've kind of discussed it before. Maybe that's a direction they go in. Maybe it's not. I'm not highly opinionated either way on that.
So I can't get a read on what and I don't think anybody really can.
Like long-term plan of Rivals is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that, because if the plan for Rivals is to be like an onboarding tool, And it's fun enough in itself that there will be some people who like only play Rivals, and maybe they buy cards, like pro cards, for Rivals, which I think is not crazy. But ultimately, the prizes can't be that great if it's only an onboarding tool.
Sure.
And so, is there a possibility that like the prizes they end? Like, I don't know if the plan is that Rivals is so successful that they're like, maybe this is the game, and they just like totally move everything to Rivals.
I mean, it could be, but the issue is like the global aspect of the game and having a lineup that has players from different teams. Like right now, you can only do the head-to-head games. It would have to build out from there, and then how much, like how different do you want to make it be from what it is now? The segmentation right now is a really good thing to separate the two and have them be different things, but I could see them molding together at some point. Just have to be kind of careful with how you did it.
Yeah. Investor Durr said Rivals does onboarding. I don't see it, to be honest. It's like NFL is onboarding for rugby. So that was like always my pushback on Rivals, that it's so different from the regular game that it's really not. It's just like hey, play this game, and then it's like we also have this game. But what you were doing really doesn't help you here. I mean, it helps you in terms of like you have the card. If you buy cards for Rivals,
does if you're instant buying cards for Rivals, and then now you have these cards that you can use in Pro.
Like Skazmo, who bought his Travanspor stack, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I can fit this in 240 for the weekend. Here's another."
Or if you do really well and you win cards on the Rival side, did they say that you could win cards? I don't think that they did.
Yes,
actually.
In Rivals.
Yeah,
that's going to be in the reward boxes.
Like, okay, gotcha.
What they didn't say, which our good friend PSU fans too thought there was a 10% chance of this, which I didn't call him out on it because I figured I would do it here, that they would reward ETH. And I think that's literally insane.
One thing Sean loves to do is make up a percentage. A 10% chance based on what, Sean?
Yeah, that's fair.
I would say it's closer to 8%, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's closer to 0, but it's just that's just me. Good Play said, "Do you think we'll ever see tactics in SO5? Maybe they'd cost something to use or a quasi entry fee."
Maybe that's what coaches cards are for. Finally, each coach's card has a tactic assigned to it.
You can use. Stop it. Stop.
If you have Maradona, you can use the what's the not Tiki Taka, I don't know, Joga Bonita, whatever.
Yeah. No, just no. No. Actually, yeah. So what's the Michael Bradley coach card give us?
That would be back passes.
Accurate long
or running. Yeah, kilometers run. I'm telling you, man.
Kilometers run. That is great. There was another one. So Alex Wilson said Rivals will inevitably get boring. I assume that meant overtime. If there are rewards, I don't think it gets boring. Like if there are reasonable rewards
that people actually care about.
Yeah.
And for pro players, there needs to be rewards that can help people on the pro side. So like if there's boosts, if there's whatever little things, people will want to gain an edge and get an edge. So if they can get an edge by playing on the Rival side to get something in pro, they're going to do it.
That's I agree. I agree. Surface said I played Rival. Sorry,
I was going to say Surface got nothing out of Rivals, and he played it all the way to the end.
Not true. He got a lot of limited cards that he paid for.
Yeah. Fair.
Surface said I played Rivals seriously up through the end, meaning the end of the beta. I was surprised at how fun the format was and how much I cared about matchups. This was without any prizes at all. Nanzo did too. I mean, Nanzo and Surface did they finish 1 and 2?
SR Monkey was doing really well too. I think that part of it too was like that competition of wanting to be the best. Mm-hmm. And those three definitely were competing to the very end to just kind of be on that leaderboard.
I think it's a bit bullshit that I didn't get compensated for my 120 arena tickets that I had left over.
That's the other thing too with Rivals is they should do like seasons, because to keep people engaged and to like, all right, well, this season I'm actually going to try to go for the leaderboard or whatever. Because like if you just let it run,
yeah, just forever.
Yeah, someone like Surface, if he gets down early or something, he'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to go for it this season." But if they reset and they have a new season uh, every 3 months or something, he might be like, "All right, this is the start of the season. I'm going to get after it right away, and if I do well, I might try to win."
I think that's really smart. I think that's a really good idea. I could see people being upset about it if they didn't announce it like right away.
Yeah.
Being like, you finally get to first and they're like, hey, next week, new season. And you're just like, wow, what the, but I do like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Let's see. Gia said, Rivals can be good with both free and pro cards, but players should be able to place a bet to play for something between them or challenge to put your cards on the game table. Yeah, I think as soon as they get that gambling license, they'll do that. Let's see. Alex said the rewards will just be boosts and tier 5s, which maybe. I don't know. I missed this. Server said, I mean, for already existing whales, it really is pretty skill based, because buying 1 or 2 cheap limiteds here or there is nothing.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I suppose. Scosmo said, I'd like to see some sort of chat box for during arena matches. I'd love to be able to chat to Paolo during the game events as events are happening and scores are changing. They got matched up in the arena. Yeah, surely nothing bad could happen from a chat box on Sorare.
Lots of 4 and 5 letter words, I think.
No, I'm sure it's, hey, good game, mate.
Your lineup is trash.
Ooh, hey.
Sorry, I apologize.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't. It's it. People are excited, man. People who were not excited yesterday are excited today. That's what that's what's nice about Rivals, and nobody's really played yet. And
people are really living that roller coaster of highs and lows in their life based on announcements coming from Sorare. It's crazy. It's like way down here yesterday and way up here today.
We're at the moon today. Yeah. How many cards did you buy during the beta for Rivals?
Just a handful. Not many.
And that
will likely change. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to buy a ton, but like once I get into the arena, I'll probably buy a few cards. I mean, like, this is a really good time for me. Like, Liga MX is starting this weekend. I'm going to have a lot of really powerful cards that I can put into the arena matchups. So if I start off doing really well, I might get after it and try to, I don't know, compete per se.
Powerful cards in Liga MX just felt so weird to hear.
Hey, when Santos is playing Chivas, it doesn't matter which cards you play as long as they play.
Do you think that there's an underlying problem though with that that's something that Sean kept saying. He was like, when Marinos play, like I'll just win everything because I have all the uniques in them. And don't we eventually get to a point?
The counterpoint to that is there's going to be people that stack the other team, and Marinos aren't going to win every game.
But it still doesn't indicate, like, people are going to be very selective in the games they choose. And obviously with the arena, you don't know who you're matched up against. But if there's a Santos match and I know that you are in there, it's like, well, I'm probably not going to beat you.
Yeah, but I mean, there'll be 60 other people playing, so the chances of drawing me is going to be quite low.
But once ELO kicks in, like Surface said himself, he got matched up with Nanzo like 70% of the time.
Right.
And so does that eventually stop them from playing? Because it's like, oh, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, but I mean, like, also too, you know what the other person's lineup's going to be. So there's an advantage with that. Like if AC Milan's playing and you see Nanzo, you know what he's running for the most part.
And you think some people will be like, "I'm going in," as opposed to
if you think there's an edge, they will. Especially if you think that they're not, if AC Milan's not going to get a clean sheet or they're not going to win the game, then stack up that other team.
Dylan said, if I was on a streak and needed a win for a reward, I would absolutely buy cards for Rivals. Andy, did you buy anything but limiteds?
No.
Do you think anybody will buy above limiteds for Rivals?
For Rivals, no, but like that might be in the back of their head. Like I'm buying this, but I can also use it in Rivals.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you were going to go the other way. That like, oh, maybe I'll buy a rare because I can also use it in whatever. But
yeah, I mean, maybe, sure.
Yeah.
Like especially if you already like stack that team or something, and you want to buy the limited for Rivals, and you're like, oh, well, just buy the rare, and then I can use it this weekend in a pro lineup.
Yeah, that's fair. Chinese said, if you spent that much money on the platform, meaning all of the Marinos uniques, let these big spenders have something, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sean spent a lot on those Yokohama uniques, so give him his Rivals win.
Yeah, he deserves it. Server said, I bought 17 limiteds, and the most expensive was Emiliano Martinez for 94 USD. I'm guessing that's not the Midtjylland Emiliano Martinez.
Don't think so.
$94 for a Rivals match, a Rivals fill-in is quite a investment, I feel like.
Yeah.
Surface, was that a new, 2 questions. Was that a new season card, and did you just buy, like, was it an instant buy? Yeah. Haber said, that's a good point. Why does everything have to be fair all the time? Sometimes things are okay to be unfair. This whole game is unfair. I hate it all. Johnny said, stacks and collections now become even more important. Should be fun for Nep and Gator guys. So actually, I brought that up to those 2 guys. And then I went to Twitter because I was like, wait, it probably doesn't help as much. But then I thought, so you only get scarcity bonuses in Rivals. You don't get XP bonus. You don't get collection bonus. And my thought was, obviously the easy way to get people to buy collections through Rivals is by giving you even more of a bump. But realistically, you can only play 5 cards. I mean, I guess it's the same as in SO5, but like it's 5 cards, but they're like, hey, buy these and you boost these. And the general consensus I got was it's just too complicated. Yeah. That if Rivals is supposed to be for onboarding and new users, telling them like, hey, buy these 4 other cards and your 5 cards get more expensive, and it's just too complicated.
Yeah. For some reason, that collections kind of made me think of what we were talking about earlier, where like, Nanzo's going to play his AC Milan guys. To another point, I'm going to play my St. Louis City guys, and they're not going to be favored in most of the games that they play in, but I'm playing them. So have at it, boys.
But do you think that there are people like, do you think Sean would play a Marinos game, like Rivals match, if they were not favored?
Yeah, because he has the cards. I mean, I did the same thing. Like it's the same thing as like the scenario where you could take a better player, or you could take a player that you have the pro card of. Almost every time I do what's probably the wrong thing, and I put my rare card in there. Like, let's say you have a 55 average guy and you have a 60 average guy, and you have the rare card of the 55. I'm playing the 55 guy every time. And it's probably incorrect. It's wrong to do it, but
that just reminded me, because I have. So I was playing this Barcelona Rivals game today, and I have the João Felix rare, and I was like, oh, like I literally, it popped up, and I was like, forward João Felix. I'm like, let's go. Not starting.
Oh, he's not. The lineups are out. I got to go check my lineup now.
Please hold while Andy and I fix our lineups.
So are you going to sub him in?
I have no idea. I don't even know. Does this guy fit? Oh, whoops. This is very interesting content here, but
we're fixing our.
I got to get it in. Priorities, guys. Come on. Let's see. What do I have left? 46. Where'd all my money go?
I think. Yeah, all my guys are starting. I'm good. We good. Not a very good lineup, though.
No. I'm just against PK, so I think I'll be fine.
So PK's got 2 DNPs in his lineup.
Do you think it is worth contacting Sorare about PK multi-accounting? Because there's no way this guy is able to challenge this many people.
I guess it's just like a automation or something.
This is absurd.
Surface said it was a new season card that he was going to use in pro lineups. So
okay. That's fine.
I wonder how much of that we'll actually see as people making that decision to just buy a card and be like, oh, well, I can also use it in pro lineups.
Well, I think that's the case with every new user. Excuse me, every old user. Like new users, I don't think are. I mean, you wouldn't even know.
Right.
Mike, you mean the person pretending to be PK? What if it's Nellis actually over at the Sorare offices, just banging out all these things for his friend? I don't know. Service said he also spent about $150 on Gundogan, Gazaniga, Thiago from Bruges, who I can use in pro. So what I find interesting about that is like Surface plays every scarcity and continues to buy limited cards. And I don't how many people are doing that? Like Nanzo's, I think, doing it also, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like we end up with a lot of cards and you're just like,
I think Sam needs to sell all of his limiteds and buy some uniques.
Who does?
Sam.
Oh, no, he has a bunch of uniques though.
Yeah, get more.
You know how many limited cards you need to sell to get uniques?
I mean, how many limited cards does Sam have?
Let's find out, Andy.
He's got good ones too.
Scarcity, limited. He's got 328.
Okay.
Just in football. My God, Surface.
Do you have Sorare data up?
I do.
Can you estimate the valuation of those, or is that not possible?
Don't even need to estimate, Andy, here.
Perfect.
$5,000.
Okay. It's a couple uniques.
RIP.
Or one good one.
There you go.
Or like 5 bad ones. You know,
whatever. These are absolutely sick.
They're like, I think that's like 10 Scosmo quality uniques.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mike said he's shocked that Surface and Nanzo didn't already have every card.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Surface said I was only buying more limiteds after Rivals went live. That's beta Rivals. But yeah.
I can criticize Scosmo because my uniques are similarly beautiful. We'll call them beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to the rewards. I hate to put it that way, but as soon as the rewards start to hit, I think there's only 2 responses. Everyone's like, wow.
Yeah, or this is shit.
I'm going to play Rivals, or wow, these are awful. And then like, why do I have all these Trabenspor limiteds?
Yeah. We don't know what the streaks are yet, right? Like how many, or is that out there?
Is it in the challenges? First win. Unright. Oh, Andy.
Share it. Let's see.
Sorry, I was just getting to my beginner level here. I'm new to the platform. So we now have unrivaled. So you have to get to 200 reputation points. Okay, so win 2. So it's just reputation points basically in order to move up here. What is tactician? Okay, here you go. Win 10 consecutive, score more than 500.
Click on those. What do they show?
Nothing.
It takes you to matches, of course.
Yeah. I don't know why I found that so funny. Anyway,
because there's a lot of things in the UI that just don't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, you click on great performance here, and it's going to take you to matches.
What, so I clicked on this one, score more than 500 points, and that taking me to rivals, I think makes sense because it's like, okay, here's where you can score 500. The win 10 consecutive is a little weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many I've won anyway. How excited are you that because of these new challenges that your manager level can finally go up?
Oh, man. Yeah, super excited.
I think that's really the game-changing part of all of this.
Yeah. Laird, I made a list. I made a list of things. So I'm going to bring us back on our non-topic. I made a list of things that I wanted to ask you. And it's just kind of like a lightning round of things that are on the platform and whether you think they should or should not exist.
This literally sounds like surface-to-air missiles, but sure.
Correct.
All right, hit me.
Legends cards.
No.
And you have to provide a quick justification, just a quick justification why.
So should Legends cards exist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they should exist. You said
yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I changed my mind. I think they should exist, and they should have absolutely no place in SO5.
Okay. And Mike said trash or gold. How about trash? We'll call it trash or treasure. No. Yes or no? Which one? Coaches.
God, no. No.
Rare Pro.
That doesn't exist.
Rare Plus.
I like Rare Plus, and I think I'm just way too biased to give like a reasonable explanation of why it should not exist.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the clearest like progression path in the entire game. And for how much they talk about progression. Yeah, I love it. Yes. Keep it, please.
Training.
Academy?
Sure.
So I like it. Do you spend any time on your Academy lineups?
No. I mean, I do them, but I don't spend time on them.
So maybe it's a me problem and that I've had like no lineups to put in recently, but I actually like put genuine thought into my lineups. And it's not even thought about like how to maximize the XP. It's more like, hey, you're 5 guys with funny names. And I get enjoyment out of that.
Typically, I put like my 5 players that most need to level up.
Yeah, I mean, I do that, but like, I found myself only training or academizing super rares.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Limited cards.
Yes. I think we've been part of a number of conversations where people say that like the biggest mistake they ever made was introducing limited cards, and I could not disagree more.
You know, the funny thing is had they had limited cards before Gary V, there would have never done this. It would have been more of like a flat. They could have flattened that out a little better,
which is what they should have. Right. Which is more. It was healthier.
Yeah.
So one of the arguments that I heard, which I appreciate this argument, that instead of introducing limited cards, if they had just onboarded the leagues that they then onboarded, like there was enough supply to handle it. But like you just never know you're getting those. And so the only thing they could control was another scarcity, and that's what they did.
Okay.
Like I think it was the right decision at that time.
Gotcha. The Scottish Premier League.
Don't you come on. Like all of it, or?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Yes. Keep it on.
It's fine. That's the new adjective you want to use for that league? So when we think of Laird in the SPFL, we're going to think of fine.
Yeah, I think there are plenty of fine leagues on Sorare that make people happy, and I like when people are happy, I'm happy.
Okay. Thresholds.
So, I mean, I love them. I love thresholds.
Yeah.
And everyone loves thresholds.
Oh, everyone does.
I think everyone loves them. I think some people understand why they are a problem.
Yeah.
But like, I know you're a put the threshold trash guy.
More of just like, I like to, I don't know.
You like to earn your reward with
stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah. I think everyone likes it because it's like, hey, here's easy money. And like, not that it's always easy to win it, but it's fundamentally easier than winning anything else, which is why we all go to it.
Yeah.
And I was actually listening to the Sorare Ramble earlier today, and they were talking about how Sorare content creators over the past year have just been telling everyone to play Threshold.
Yeah.
And that they weren't necessarily assigning blame, but it sort of came off that way. But it was, I continue to say it was the right advice if you were trying to maximize your ROI in this game.
Yeah.
That playing for cards just it wasn't worth it. And it's still not. And that's the problem. Like, that's why they have to fix it.
Yeah. Orange Fly actually Bob Flynn made a really good comment. And I forget exactly how he phrased it, but he was like, until they're gone, until they change things, until they restructure whatever, that is still my advice, and that's still what I'm going to do, and I'm going to still continue to collect. And what's funny is like Bob, like when you look at Bob and like the amount of money that he is spending on the platform, you would think that it'd be like, oh, we'll build some really good rare plus teams, maybe some super rare teams. Fuck all that. He's just building unique threshold teams. He's like, give me the mediocre uniques, and I'm just going to scrape the platform for $500 as often as I can. And is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. But that's what he's doing.
Yeah. I think why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, I think fundamentally the way that the reward structure works, it's too hard to win comparable cards to the amount of the threshold payments. And so they've given no benefit to playing any way other than scoring 280 points or whatever the hell you need in super rare and unique now. But yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I have when MX is going, I have a unique threshold team, and I have no idea what you even need to score. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll have to go read a Medium article somewhere to find out. I'm sure surely it's in the platform, right?
Hold on, but realistically, does it even matter? Like I mean, it matters when like you're watching the lineup and you're like, how far away am I? But like when you're building your lineup,
no, it doesn't. It's like,
you're just like, all right,
build a good lineup that's close to the cap.
Yeah.
Score 375 points to win 500. Yeah. Dan said
too easy. Yeah, no, I like anyone who says they're like against the threshold is not against like people winning money. They're against like Sorare going bankrupt because we all took their money.
Yeah, or just like the theory of it, the idea of like where do we apply the incentives for our users to do certain things. And sorry, I did not mean to hijack this into a threshold conversation because, Nicholas has been calling us to make sure that we talk about this every week on our bat phones. So, but yeah, we can change topics if you'd like.
No, I think it's worth talking about.
I do think it's like where are the incentives right now? The incentives are designed. The game is designed to go buy mediocre cards for thresholds.
So it's almost like they addressed their solution to a problem was too good.
Yeah.
That there was a time where, and to be honest, even when it was an all-star rare, there was always a market for mediocre players that could get you to 205 or 250. And there was such an uproar that the values of bad cards was going down. And so they were like, we need a solution. And they're like, all right, well, we have this cap mode, so you can't use the best players. And that's where we'll put the threshold payments. And it then made those players more valuable than they probably should be, and obviously hurt the top cards because everybody goes to play threshold. And what I struggle with the argument that they can't get rid of it is that people really like this beat the game aspect.
Sure.
You can keep that in the game without rewarding cash there. Like, what if you just like there are other things that they can reward. Most of them suck, I'll be honest. Nobody's going to compete for boosts and all that stuff. But to put basically the most valuable rewards there, like literally cash, they basically like overcompensated.
Yeah. You might have made the comment on a podcast this week that I was listening to, but it's like, it's not removing, it's totally restructuring the idea behind it. And I mean, like, what if it were even like still in 240 and it was just like, no, we're going to take the number that we usually give out and just reward them from the top down, the top X% or however you want to do it. I mean, lots of ideas there. And there was a comment in chat and it's like, I forget what it was, but it's like, yeah, this is a super uncomfortable conversation because it like, it's so, like, it's like a big financial thing that like affects so many different people on the platform, and it affects the platform itself. It's super uncomfortable to talk about this.
It's like the most emotionally charged conversation because people like the money. That's fundamentally like the most obvious money aspect of this game. Like, buy these cards and then compete here to get that money back. So there's basically two parts of the sustainability discussion about thresholds. And one is it costs Sorare too much money. And the other is Sorare is not making enough money on the cards that you need to compete for those. So it's not just about cutting costs. It's also about like making people buy cards. And so Surfers asked this question: would you rather see the threshold score needed raised or the amount of the payoff go down? The problem is that either one of those only solves the cost problem. So we're just paying out less. And that's like, no user takes that well. They're like, hey, we paid down $1 million, but this week it's going to be 500,000. And everyone's like, what? Like, that's so you still need a way to make cards more valuable.
Right.
And want people to buy more cards. And so that's why I kind of kept going back to the whole, if you just, and again, none of the ideas that I've discussed, I don't want to talk about anyone else, but of like removing threshold is not Sorare taking all of that money and throwing it into Nico's pocket.
Right.
Like, it's taking that money and just distributing it differently. And the reason why, and this is pure like speculative theory here, they don't need to reduce the amount they're paying out if they can sell more cards. And making people have to compete in 5 different competitions, which requires them to have a minimum of 25 cards to win the equivalent of the threshold, $50, is better than having them buy 8 cards in 240 and I know you need more than 8, but it's instead of getting $50 from this one lineup, it's you get 10 from that one and 8 from that one and 12 from that. And you have to compete more and you have to finish higher to do it. And like, fundamentally, that's the game we're playing. Like, fantasy sports is about beating other people at this game. And right now, just like beating a number,
getting
the easy money.
I don't want to say nobody, but that is not the primary focus for people beating other people. It's just like, no, I got to get my 280 every week and just keep chugging along. And I don't know. I mean, maybe you even gate that for a number of weeks or something. I don't know.
Rikamon said, shouldn't higher points mean you need better players raising their price? That's the point.
Of course, that's the whole incentives thing that we've been talking about, is incentivize the users to do things that will increase the prices of those cards.
So the one sort of it's not a pushback, but one idea that I've heard is like a tiered threshold. So like kind of back to what they had.
Yeah, the lower
205
threshold
is like absurd, but yeah, like if you score 300, you get in rare like $55, or and if you score 400, and I don't think that works in cap mode. Like at 240, like you score 400, like no, I don't think you still can't buy the best, you still can't play in order to have your gallery grow where you can then get better players to then play them in 240. Like 240s is not the spot for it. Like I almost feel like they need to go back to All-Star or something, so that like fundamentally you need the best players to be what people want to have. And right now, because the threshold is so overwhelmingly popular, because it's easier to get 280 points than it is 380 to win a card. So you need people to want those better cards. I don't know. Mike Basson, is it better for them to sell DNP injured players while they're out and continue to get some revenue, or do what they do now and not get any at all? So I think they absolutely should auction injured players, and you do that so that you can get an actual valuation for them, so they don't fuck up the tiers so much.
Ah, very good, Laird. That's good.
Sorry, that was very dramatic, but man, that was a disaster. So ZM Star said, what do people do with 80% of the card supply, which is not usable to beat other players? So it's still like that's missing.
You still have the cap mode.
Like cap mode's not going away. Like fundamentally, I think they can still keep 270, 240, and 220, or whatever the numbers are. And you can have cash payouts in those competitions. It's just that you're not beating a number. You're beating other people in cap 220, like we're doing right now in this month long. Like you have to beat other people for it. And if there are cash payments there, like I think there should be cash rewards in every competition.
Yeah. What about card rewards in every competition?
I like card rewards. I don't really win many, but I like them. Like I think I think card rewards, absolutely. Yes. I think you need to have card rewards in every competition, so that when they have this new season card, new cash competition that you need new season cards for, like you can win new season cards. I'm not on board yet with the reward only cash and let everybody just buy whatever they want. I still like card rewards. Haber said, I don't care about Sorare's bottom line. I just want people to be ambitious on Sorare again. It's way more fun winning a big reward than Threshold. So I think I think you can care about Sorare's bottom line and want people to be ambitious again. But I agree that there was there was more of an incentive to buy better cards when even the threshold was an All-Star.
I thought you were going to say when Mbappe was worth 20 grand.
Well, yeah, that helped too. But there was more of an incentive to get better cards, because the higher you finished in All-Star allowed you to win the card and the threshold, the threshold. And when they moved it to cap 240, there was no replacement of like, what do I do with my great cards? And it was just like, well, you just lose to Nanzo. That's what you do with it.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Scosmo on this too. So there should never be a platform that tries to make all cards good. I think to an extent, I mean, I think that they can certainly make some of those valuable by keeping cap modes. But the good cards are good and can become bad. Bad cards can become good. Scout work win. Yeah, I like it.
I love that. Scout work win. I might put that on a sign somewhere. ZM Star said, I agree with removal of threshold and the DFS model of top half, by the way. Yeah. You know what's funny? So I said that last week, I think. 0 people have been like, hey, you know what's a good idea? And said that. And I'm like, nobody agreed with me.
It makes people so uncomfortable to even like talk about it at all. And nobody wants to listen. As soon as you start with, well, I think that you can remove it, and then it's over. Like the conversation's over. They don't want to listen to anything else you have to say. And it's like, well, no, I want to redistribute all of it and still give it all back to the users, but just change the incentive.
Right. Exactly. Mike said, what about what they did with All-Star Rare with adding cash places? Would this be better across all divisions? Like I think the difficulty in rewarding it in all divisions, and this is fully in my fear that they don't get it right, that when you move all of the cash to the divisions and you make it so that only like the top 10 win cash, it doesn't affect 99% of Sorare.
Yeah.
And so most of the users won't go from like, I had an opportunity to win $5 or $50 and now I basically don't. And so that was like my top half idea, was like, you still need a way for people to win cash like easily. And
I mean,
so I don't think you can pay.
You don't really need a way for people to win easily.
You're right.
You know, maybe card rewards should be easy to win, but cash rewards should not be easy to win.
But the problem is like the supply doesn't allow for the cards to be given out that easily. Other than the 30-cent rare card tier 5.
We're giving away tons of cards right now already.
That's what I mean. But like, you want them to give away more cards?
No, it doesn't have to be more. But maybe the podium is just straight cash.
But so I don't think like any conversation about like making podiums bigger, I think misses the point.
Sure. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, that's the top, 50, it could be where the cash goes. And then you have cards in other spots. Along with cards as well. But you're not buying it.
Maybe. Scosmo said David Alves said the Rafael unique is ending soon.
It's a cool looking card.
Celebration card. How much do you think it's going to go? Oh, it's a bundle. 5.2 ETH right now. You get a Pulisic, a Giroud.
I don't know.
Franksy's got it. Maybe.
Who else is in the bundle?
It's Simon Kjaer, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Olivier Giroud, and Christian Pulisic, all rares, and then the Leao unique.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Haber. Cards are fun to win. I think there is some excitement about winning something really good and having the opportunity to look through the prize pools and see what you got the chance at.
There's also the fundamental Sorare experience of winning a card and being like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Going to Sorare data and being like,
to be fair, that's usually a bad thing.
Well,
usually that's a bad thing.
Yes.
When you're like, who the hell is this guy?
That's
you find out they're DNP and they don't play, but they're a good prospect. Like Sorare down under, Alistair went through the same thing. He finished 4th or something in a division. He's like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And I think recently Basil's been through that a lot in the U23 prize pools. Yeah. Somebody showed his rewards, and I was like, I legitimately don't know the name of any of those guys. I think he podiumed in all of them.
it was like 5 podiums, and I had never heard of any of them. And granted, like I don't know anybody anyway.
Right.
So but the idea that like other people that I know that like know everybody, they didn't know them, and I'm like, man, that's a whole nother issue though. I think Pranksy won this one. Maybe 5.2 ETH. Is that good? I don't even know. Cool card though.
What did it end up going for?
5.2 was the bundle.
Seems low. But I also haven't been following Leal this year, and I don't know how he's doing. Not 2023 anymore either. So
yeah. Well, now he can play Rivals against Nanzo.
Yeah, I guess.
I will also say, as I'm spinning this card, and Haber's here. Haber, I don't forget what card he was even talking about, but he was spinning it during one of his streams the other day. I've never seen anybody spin a card more like faster than what he, like. I almost didn't believe it was true. I thought I was going at like 10x speed. So Haber, well done on that. It might be faster than Nep, and Nep thinks he's really fast at spinning cards. Super Totoro says need a way to burn cards to reduce supply. For instance, taking a bad tier 5 from a previous year and burning it to upgrade XP on a card of your choice. Like I have yet to have anybody convince me that burning thousands of tier 5 cards helps in any way.
We've had people comment about burning, like I feel like hundreds of times, and whenever you start reading it, both of our heads start doing this. I think we just have the same reaction. Neither of us are for it.
I just need something that tells me how that benefits anyone. And every idea, like just that.
It's like, no, Laird, let me burn this bad card and give me something good.
Right.
Yeah. Take away the trash and give me something good. I don't think you get it. That's what I want. Take my trash, give me something good.
Yeah.
Please.
It's literally recycling. Yeah, I don't know. Carol said the reward for first arena game win, 80% got 3 arena tickets, 14% got 5, 7% got a tier 5 limited. Is that, surely people would rather arena tickets than a tier 5 limited. 1% got a tier 4, 0.3% got a tier 3, and the jersey is 0.01%. That's for every arena, like every game? Obviously 0.01% for a jersey is really small, but
I want to know what that is. That is, whatever that is very interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, that is interesting.
Hey,
Namestar says, I have a theory on burning coach cards for arena tickets.
Laird, you're going to have to do some work for me and talk to HG about building some things in Sorare data for Rivals. You've already said multiple times you're never going to do it, but come on.
Never do what? Stuff for Rivals?
Yeah, build stuff for Rivals.
What stuff you want?
Well, I think like a in-game live game experience would be nice. Right now, like the live game feed on the Sorare app and Sorare website is not great. Like even just
we have live game stuff right now.
Yeah, but you have to I've got to leave Sorare, and then I've got to pull up your live game, and then I got to remember which random Turkish guys I selected for this lineup. Like to be able to see my lineup and Sorare data would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Maybe some kind of building tools. Like a lineup builder for Rivals. You're building it, I can tell. Just based on your reaction, it's getting built.
Good ideas, Andy. Wish we thought of stuff like that.
Love it.
I think now, granted, everybody knows that I have nothing to do with actually building this stuff.
No, no. We all know that when these streams are over, you get your hammer, your nails, and your laptop out, and you are working away building these apps.
Hammer and nails.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. So I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, I don't even know if Sorare puts this puts the like the salary cap basically in the API. Like I don't even know what's in the API. I don't know. But also I don't even know what an API looks like. Just a bunch of letters and numbers, I think.
Just a thing that people keep saying that they're very reliant on.
I have no idea what it is. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, here's a screenshot from the API," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I believe you." Mike asked me where the Dundee United trash truck. So the trash content is over, so I just took it out. I thought it was over, but apparently it's very much not over, Andy. Still to this day, still getting like subtweeted about that. It's really funny.
Yeah. At some point, that joke will get old, won't it?
I thought it would like 3 days ago, but apparently not. Apparently, it's not a joke. That's the problem. Although that being said, Make It a Double comes out tomorrow, and there are plenty in there too.
Nice. Those guys are Scottish, right?
They are not.
Oh, they're not.
They are not.
Where are they from?
Not enough. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
That was a very, very fun show, though. Anyway, so we successfully didn't talk about what we were going to talk about, but I think we talked about what everybody wanted to talk about. So I can get that to success.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's classic SorareAndrews fashion right there. Just have a topic, see where it leads us, talk about whatever we want to talk about what chat wants to talk about, and we're done in an hour. So
here we go. Get back to my hammer and nails here.
Rivals building it.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew, where can I see the prizes from the last Super Cap 220? I have no idea. That's not true. That's not true.
You guys don't have that in the rewards tab?
To be honest, I have no idea. I was so bad at it that I just didn't even look.
Do you even know your own platform?
Like some of it. Like the lineup builder, I'm really good at that. But that's it. Mike. I'm not touching that one. Anyway, thank you to everybody for joining. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be back tomorrow with off topic, hopefully to not dig myself any deeper into this SPFL drama, but never know. So yeah, and then next week, I don't know what's happening next week. We'll find out next week. Anyway, thanks everyone. Talk to you then.